Hi, I'm Jen from Acadian Accounting Education, and today we are going to practice invoicing delayed charges. So, if you would like to grab a copy of the exercise, be sure to click on the link in the description, and let's get started. All right, let's practice invoicing those delayed charges. Now, this exercise is coming from our Level 2 ProAdvisor certification course. If you would like more information about that course after we go through the exercise, be sure to click on the link in the description. Let's dive in and read through today's scenario. Craig installed a new garden at Red Rock Diner, and the owners asked him to handle the watering. Craig needs to stop by twice per week to water. He may need to do some weeding intermittently. Craig only wants to invoice Red Rock Diner once for these visits at the end of the month. So far, Craig has watered the new garden twice last week. He already did one day this week and plans to stop by again this week as well. Plus, this week he is going to weed. So let's see how to do this. Now, you'll need to be in the sample company to do this exercise. If you are not sure how to get into the sample company or get your own free QBOA account, be sure to click on the link in the description. I have the sample company here on the left side of my screen. This is where we're going to work. And once you sign in, this is what it will look like. So let's go ahead and get started with the exercise. Now, because you're recording this now, but sending an invoice later, you'll use the delayed charges feature. We'll start by setting up the charges for last week's watering. So the first thing we need to do is click on the plus new button and then select delayed charge. So the plus new button is on the top left corner of the screen. Click on that. And then under customers, towards the bottom, there is delayed charge. Go ahead and select that. Now, Craig tells you that the chart tells you to charge, $25 per visit. So in the customer field, we want to select Red Rock Diner. So click into it and you can either scroll or type their name. So once you find it, go ahead and click on it. Now in the delayed charge date, we want to select last Friday's date. If your date will likely be different than what is shown here below, and it will probably be different than the date that you see here on my screen. If you are doing this exercise on a Friday, just choose the previous week's Friday. So I'm going to click into this. For me, that would be April 11th. So I'm going to click on that. And then let's go ahead and fill out the rest of this. Now on the first line in the product service field, we want to select gardening. So click into it and you can scroll down or you can start typing in the name. Once you find it though, go ahead and click on it. Now you could create a separate line for each day, but for this exercise, we're just going to use one line for both of the days. Also note that the dates in the sample company continuously change based on when you are completing the exercise. So we were just going to use a generic date format. Feel free to use actual dates if that is helpful for you to see. So in the description field after weekly gardening service, we want to type this -mm/dd/YY and repeat that twice. Again, you can use real dates if you prefer. For the purpose of this exercise, I'm just going to use a generic format. In real life, though, you probably would want to use the actual dates, though. All right, so this was two different gardening services, so we need to update the quantity to 2. And then remember that Craig said it was $25 a visit. So in the rate field, we want to just change that to 25. If you hit the tab key or you click out of it, you will see that QBO automatically updates this and makes the calculation 2 times 25 equals 50. All right, so this one is all done. We're just going to click on the Save a New button on the bottom right corner. So click on that. And now we're going to set up the delayed charge for this week. So that last one was saved and now we're creating the new one. So in the customer field, once again, we need to select Red Rock Diner. So click the down arrow, you can scroll or type their name in. In the delayed charge date field, we want to select the upcoming Friday. And again, your day may be different than what you see on my screen. And if you're doing this exercise on a Friday, just choose the following week's Friday. So for me, the next Friday is going to actually be tomorrow. So that is going to be on the 18th. Now, Craig indicated that he also did some weeding for $15 this week. So let's add this to the delayed charge. So on the second line in the product service field, we want to select gardening. So click into it, go ahead and select gardening once again. This time in the description field, we want to type weeding. So delete what is there and type weeding. In the rate field, we want it to be $15. He only went once, so the quantity stays the same. The rate is going to change to 15. Click either out of that or hit the tab key and you will see that QBO has updated the amount for this particular delayed charge. So now we are just going to click on Save and Close. So I'm going to click on this down arrow here, select Save and Close. And now that second delayed charge has been saved. Now let's see where you can find the unbilled charges. So on the left navigation bar, we are going to hover over sales and then select all sales. So this left navigation bar here, you will see sales. Go ahead and click on all sales. Now the two charges that we just created show in the sales center at the top of the list, but you can see this in the unbilled charges area too. If you happen to get any pop-ups like this, just go ahead and click out of them. So as you can see, these two charges that we just created are here. But if I scroll up here and I click on this unbilled income, you can go ahead and click on that. It's like a purplish blue kind of box. Go ahead and click on that. And then the two charges will appear again at the top of the list since they are the most recent. Their status is showing as open because they have not been invoiced yet. So let's say that now it is the end of the month and it's time to invoice Red Rock Diner. Let's go ahead and see what that looks like. So once again, we're going to click on that plus new button and then select invoice. So plus new button is on the top left corner. Click on that. Customers is invoice. Select that. In the customer field, we need to select Red Rock Diner. If you get any pop-ups like this, just go ahead and click out of them. QBO is updating all of their forms here, so they're giving lots of informational pop-ups throughout the QBO where they are making those updates. So in this customer field, once again, we need to select Red Rock Diner. So click on that. You will see this pop-up drawer up here on the right side of the delayed charges screen, or with all of the delayed charges, excuse me. We want to add all of these to the invoice. So let's click on Add All. And now those will go over there. I'm going to click on the X right here since I don't need this screen right here, and it will expand my invoice. So now I can see everything. If you scroll down, you will see here all of the delayed charges that we just created before are now showing here on this invoice. Now in the invoice date field, we want to select the last day of this month. So in this invoice date, click the calendar and then select the last day of the current month we are in. Because remember, we're just pretending that it is the end of the month and that is why we are creating this invoice. Now the invoice is ready to send to the customer. It shows the 4 watering visits here and the and the 1 weeding here on this one invoice. Now normally you might click save and send, or in this review and send to email the invoice to the customer, but we're just going to close it since you can't actually send invoices here from the sample company. So go ahead and click on this down arrow here and select Save and Close. All right, and that invoice has been saved. Finally, let's take a look and see how this shows up in Red Rock Diner's profile. So go ahead and click on the Customers tab on the top here. And then we want to scroll down to Red Rock Diner and click on their name. So go ahead and do that. All right, so here is their profile. So I'm going to collapse this bar so you can see my screen a little bit better here. So here you can see that the invoice has been completed. Both of the delayed charges are marked as converted in the status column, which means that they have been included in the invoice. So that is how you would invoice with delayed charges. Now, if you like this exercise and you would like to do more like it, or you would like more information about that Level 2 ProAdvisor certification course, be sure to click on the link in the description, and I will see you next time.